Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the Bachelor latest news. The Golden Bachelorettes Joan Vassos and Chalk Chapel continue to live a jet-setting life together in the 4 months since their finale aired, but they still haven't committed to finding a place to live together. Joan and Chalk first met after appearing on the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, where they became engaged. They were the first couple on the inaugural Golden Bachelorette, and they've been an inspiration to people of all ages that it's never too late to find your person. One of the biggest stumbling blocks for Joan and Chalk has been where to settle. Joan originally hails from Maryland, while Chalk has roots in Wichita, and they've expressed interest in moving to New York City. They've been flying around the world vacationing together, taking care of work commitments, and getting themselves integrated into one another's lives. But eventually, they'll need to take the leap and move in together. I've been doing some research, and the more I think about it, the more I think Joan and Chalk should embrace the slow life and settle in Wichita. Everyone knows a big city like NYC will be way more expensive than other parts of the country. According to US News and World Report, NYC ranks number 5 on the list of most expensive cities in the US. The real estate and cost of living in New York are astronomical. And even though Joan and Chalk both do well for themselves, and have further monetized their brands since becoming public figures, the cost of living in NYC is still a barrier they need to consider. According to Realtor.com, if Joan and Chalk wanted to buy a new home together in Wichita, they could find a spacious place easily for under $400,000. Chalk already has a gorgeous Wichita home, but if he and Joan decide they want to buy something together for a fresh start, Wichita would be more realistic. Of course, it would be a big sacrifice for Joan, who has an established life on the East Coast. A quick search on Zillow proves buying a place in NYC would cost 5 times what a place in Wichita would, and it would likely be half the size. It's unusual to buy a home in NYC, so they'd most likely be looking for an apartment, which is a completely different way of life than what they're accustomed to. Big city living has its advantages, but it also has its drawbacks, like less space, more noise, more pollution, etc. If Joan and Chalk want to bite the bullet and get a place in NYC, they could start their lives together in a fresh spot, which can be beneficial for couples, rather than moving into someone's already existing home in their city. But I'm not convinced Chalk will want to give up his Wichita life for the big city lifestyle. Chalk is Wichita born and raised, and he has an established business there. It would be a huge undertaking for them to start over in New York. From the moment Joan chose Chalk, they've been open about their excitement for their futures, but they've also acknowledged their struggles, like deciding where to settle. They've always named NYC as a dream location, but Chalk's attachment to Wichita is also a factor. There hasn't been much talk about setting in Joan's hometown of Rockville, Maryland, which is close to Washington, D.C. Maybe Joan doesn't have as many roots in Maryland as Chalk has in Wichita. I'm not sure NYC is the right place for Chalk and Joan. Especially at their ages, the big city might be too much for them. They should embrace a slower lifestyle in the Midwest and start their lives together in Wichita. Joan has already met many of Chalk's friends, and he's been busy giving her the Wichita experience each time she visits. I can't help but think Wichita seems like a more appropriate place for Joan and Chalk to live out their golden years, and we love that for them. While the Golden Bachelorette's Joan Vassos and Chalk Chapel's convictions are admirable, their unwillingness to move has strained the relationship. The pair found love through the dating competition, with Chalk catching Joan's eye by their first introduction. His charm and patent Chalk noodle soup earned him the season's first date. By the conclusion of this date, the pair discovered their similar values, perspectives, and romantic histories. Their relationship strengthened with time, And in the finale of The Golden Bachelorette Season 1, Joan chose Chalk, and he proposed. Although Joan and Chalk seem undeterred by the challenges of a public relationship, like online criticism, one issue has lingered: distance. Chalk resides in Wichita, Kansas, while Joan lives in Rockville, Maryland. Over 1,000 miles separate the couple, but they have tried to make the circumstances work. Joan and Chalk have been traveling frequently to visit each other for holidays and recreation. They are preparing to live together, but neither will move away from their roots. Hopefully, their differences won't tear them apart. While engaging in a public relationship invites online negativity, Joan and Chalk haven't let the criticism dissuade them from their mission. They have maintained one message: you can find love at any age. They are determined to unite and inspire fans rather than stoop to cruelty. Joan and Chalk have remained devoted to the relationship despite the backlash. Joan and Chalk have made large strides in their careers. Chalk is a business owner who dabbles in reality as he owns 3 properties in Wichita and the surrounding areas. He established his company, Insurance Services Group, a full-service insurance agency in Wichita. Joan's bachelor's in computer science led to several professional opportunities, such as being a project consultant, an interior designer, and a private school administrator. However, the pair have focused on their influencer status since their reality stint. While Joan and Chalk were highly successful separately, they complement one another. Joan and Chalk encourage each other to embrace change and prioritize their families. When the holidays approached, Joan and Chalk compromised by traveling with their relatives and alternating holidays. Joan and her family flew to Kansas for Christmas, while Chalk and his family flew to Maryland for Thanksgiving. They have made their living situation work. In a shopping video posted to Chalk and Joan's Instagram, she pushes Chalk to explore outside his comfort zone. She encouraged Chalk to buy a floral print, and despite his initial reservations, he embraced the new style. The insurance executive offered through a wide smile, "Never in a million years would I think I'd wear this." When purchasing the item, Joan and Chalk are growing, adapting, and learning from this relationship. While Joan and Chalk are unsure where they'll relocate, the relationship has the potential to flourish. Chalk understandably wants to remain in Kansas. Chalk has built an empire in Wichita, and despite his children moving away, his social network and career are local to the area. Joan hopes to remain in Maryland as her family, notably her elderly mother, is still nearby. Joan's mother, Mary, resides at the Overlook, a senior living facility in Maryland. The reality star has been concerned regarding her 92-year-old mother's health for some time. Joan and Chalk have valid reasons to stay in their hometowns, but whatever they decide will work out. Wichita, as Chalk mentions in an Instagram video, is affordable and welcoming. If Joan moved, she would have Chalk and his social network, as Joan was introduced to Chalk's friends in late February. The pair has been talking about purchasing a shared apartment in New York, specifically Vassos, and this decision could be similarly beneficial. Their apartment would be a non-committal stay for week-long trips. This could allow Joan and Chalk to get away from home without the permanence of relocation. As a hub for film and television, Joan and Chalk would love New York. It could be a launching pad for their TV careers. Joan and Chalk shouldn't let housing disputes hinder their relationship. They have made the long-distance circumstances work so far. Ideally, the couple should take the time to carefully weigh all options before committing to one location. Otherwise, they may be left with lingering resentment. The pair has all the components for a healthy, happy relationship. While they are feeling the pressure of the limelight, Joan and Chalk should not let outside sources influence this decision. Wherever they decide to live, the Golden Bachelorette's first couple will make it a home. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1's Joan Vassos and Chalk Chapel are taking full advantage of their fame. Ever since the 62-year-old Joan and 60-year-old Chalk left the Bachelor spin-off show, they've expanded their careers as social media influencers. The endeavor has been going well, as their Instagram pages have been flush with partnerships and other ads. It's a far departure from their former lives. Before appearing in the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, Joan was a private school administrator in Rockford, Maryland, while Chalk was an insurance executive from Wichita, Kansas. Their lives, jobs, and lifestyles have changed since they fell in love and got engaged on an unscripted reality show. The couple has been taking full advantage of their newfound fame by cashing in on their public personas. A brief scroll down Joan and Chalk's Instagram pages offers a wide array of products and experiences being sold by the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 couple. Joan recently posted an Instagram of herself selling expensive skincare while Chalk is marketing his own skincare products. Though Joan and Chalk seem happy together, they post more ads than couples photos these days. Chalk's caption reads, in part, "Not getting any younger, but some good skincare always helps." Not only do Joan and Chalk make money by posting sponsored ads, but they probably make even more money sharing each other's various ventures. It may sound like I'm being critical, but I'm impressed. I think it's great Joan and Chalk are a good team. It's a good sign for their eventual marriage. It means the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 worked for them, which means it can work for other people too. After they got engaged during the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 finale, Joan and Chalk discovered a shared love of New York City. The couple decided to start looking for an apartment there, but they hadn't found their dream spot yet. Joan and Chalk may be working extra hard to finance their Big Apple dream life. I think we're really enjoying where we are right now, and I think if we put that pressure on us to plan, we won't enjoy what we're doing now, Vassos said. Golden Bachelorette stars Joan Vassos and Chalk Chapel aren't in a rush to make it down the aisle. The couple, who got engaged in the finale of the ABC show in Bora Bora, shared an update on their nuptials in an interview with Bachelor Nation and noted that they are taking it slow when it comes to planning everything out. "Yeah, I think we're really enjoying where we are right now. And I think if we put that pressure on us to wedding plan, we won't enjoy what we're doing now," Vassos, 61, said. "So there's no rush. We don't have a biological clock, we're not having kids, so I think when the time is right we'll know it, and we'll go and do it. But right now what we're doing is perfect," she added. Chapel added that the pair already have a lot on their plate, including a few weddings and possibly a future engagement on the calendar courtesy of Vassos' 4 children, Nicholas, Erica, Allison, and Luke, whom she shares with her late husband, John Vassos. Joan has a son getting married this summer, and then probably another one getting engaged, he shared. Vassos added, "Yeah. So I have family weddings I'm dealing with, which is wonderful and all happy things. So we're gonna take a back seat to all that." The pair, who are based in Maryland and Kansas, also opened up about making their long-distance relationship work. Vassos revealed that the pair see each other like every other week, but make an effort to make things work. "We kind of combine our schedules every month and see where we can see each other, so it's been great," she explained. "And if we don't see each other in about 14 days, we both start to miss each other. So that absence makes the heart grow fonder is really true." Chapel noted they were always checking their calendars to find moments where they could be together, despite their busy family lives or work. He shared, "The secret, from my aspect, is Joan's in charge. So I just show up, and it works out that way." It does take effort. It's not as easy as, "Hey, let's get together tonight because you're right down the road. So you have to make an effort," Vassos added. "But it's actually a fun way to kind of do it." The reality star continued. "We can meet in fun places. Like we've been to Cancun, and we meet in LA all the time. We go to New York. So with our meetings, we find something fun to do. We get great opportunities and we try to make it work for us. But you still have a life. Just because we're engaged and we're in love, and I plan to spend my future with him, doesn't mean you have to spend every minute together," she added. "I haven't always thought Guy Gansert should be in the running to be the Golden Bachelor, but the idea has grown on me." The 61-year-old former ER doctor from Reno, Nevada, could be a risky choice, but I think his pros far outweigh his cons. Guy made his television debut on The Golden Bachelorette. He made it to 62-year-old Joan Vassos' final two, but she gave her final rose to 60-year-old Chalk Chapel. Though Guy would have been the natural choice for the next Golden Bachelor, I was convinced his scandal would make him ineligible. Guy stood out among the 24 single men of the Golden Bachelorette Season 1. Aside from the fact that he's an attractive doctor, he always seemed like a genuinely kind person. I was moved when he helped fellow contestant Charles Ling work through some personal trauma associated with the death of his late wife. And when retired Navy Captain Kim Bike wanted to sing Joan a group song, Guy was the only one who was willing to stand by him. I think Guy should be the Golden Bachelor's Season 2 lead, despite his ex-wife's allegations. Joan liked Guy from the moment they met during the Golden Bachelorette Season 1, but according to People, Guy's ex-wife, Heidi O'Gara, filed for a temporary protective order in October 2021. She had the order dismissed a month later before it was granted. Though the restraining order was never officially granted, some of her accusations are disturbing. She'd accused her ex-husband of being angry and making threats, alleging that he motioned like he was going to shoot me with his hand shaped like a pistol. Heidi dropped the restraining order a month later. Guy wasn't the only contestant on the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 who had a protective order filed against them in the past. 60-year-old Gil Ramirez, an educator from Mission Viejo, California, also had one. According to People, Gil's ex-girlfriend filed a restraining order against him about 4 months ago, accusing him of stalking. The reason producers didn't know about it is that he passed their background check before the restraining order was filed. Gil was eliminated from the Golden Bachelorette earlier in the process, whereas Guy made it to the final two. It was shocking that the Golden Bachelorette Season 1 involved multiple restraining orders, and it raised questions about whether the producers were doing due diligence. While Guy having an issue with his wife isn't great, it seems like it was a private matter that got out of hand. His wife doesn't appear to be angry with him, and the two seem to have a positive co-parenting relationship. I feel like it would be a shame if it kept Guy from being the Golden Bachelor. When Guy's protective order went public, he addressed the matter on Instagram. The Golden Bachelorette Season 1 contestant explained that he and Heidi, whom he was married to for 34 years and had 4 children with, struggled during their divorce, but eventually came to an agreement, prompting Heidi to drop the protective order. Producers should consider his explanation before making any decisions about his future with the franchise. I understand why Bachelor producers would be reluctant to cast Guy in the Golden Bachelor Season 2. The fact that he had a restraining order against him at one time falls under the category of a potential liability. Casting Guy isn't without risk, but I think it's a risk worth taking. Guy is the perfect catch, so the show would have no trouble finding women who want to date the ER doctor and single father. Guy wasn't always one of my favorites to be cast in the Golden Bachelor Season 2. I thought several other cast members from The Golden Bachelorette had a better shot than Guy, but I'm not sure anymore. 58-year-old Mark Anderson is already in a committed relationship, so he's off the market. 61-year-old Jonathan Roan just got out of a serious relationship, so it may be too soon for him to date dozens of women. Despite his scandal, I think Guy is the show's best bet. I've also convinced Guy is actively vying for the role. He was never active on Instagram, but recently broke his silence and has been posting regularly. I read this as a sign he's trying to up his presence before the new season is announced with him as the lead. Guy recently posted a produced family vacation video on Instagram where he looked the part. I found it quite interesting that he included several Bachelor franchise hashtags as well. Several weeks ago, Guy posted an Instagram photo shoot that proves he looks the part of a Bachelor lead. In the footage, Guy poses for a photo shoot, and I think he's prepared to lead the show. As great as The Golden Bachelor Season 1 was, I think Guy is much more telegenic and interesting than Jerry was. Though his ex-wife accused him of disturbing things, they were going through a divorce, and she quickly dropped the accusations. It's not surprising that the show's producers would want to make a safer choice, but as a fan of the show, I hope they reconsider. This gossip is over. If you like the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.